So, I know the very end of yesterday's video got a little bit on the sad side, but, I want you guys to know that, yeah, full disclosure, yes, I am, sad about it. And, the fact that my grandfather passed on is only going to get, hard from here on out because, obviously he's not going to be around anymore. But, I actually want to look at it. I mean, you guys know me. I'm a glass half full kind of guy. So here's how I really look at it. As you all know, I was born on December 28th, 1989. And my grandfather had passed away on January 21st, 2020. So, using the power of the internet, I actually looked up how long that actually was. My grandfather was in my life for 10,981 days. That's a pretty long time. That is most definitely a length of time that won't soon be surpassed. So, yeah, I'm definitely sad he's gone. But, I knew him for, again, 10,981 days. So, considering that that's more than what a lot of people do, and considering that, he was in my life, he was a part of my life at all, that's pretty special. I actually feel rather lucky about that. Sorry, I have an itch in my nose. Sorry. I mean, Again, what did hit me was I just recalled back to that one phone message he left me after I ran the Wine Glass Marathon the first time. And he said that, I hope to be there all the days of your life. Well, again, 10,981 is a pretty big number. And you were there for that many of them. So, I can't really complain. I most certainly cannot complain. But, it's funny, when I read to you all those, the questions on that personality quiz, I distinctly remember one of the questions asking, do you believe that no matter what, life goes on? Well, considering that my grandfather is gone and the world hasn't stopped spinning, I already believed that in the beginning, but now I'm a very firm believer in that. So, yeah, I'm sad. And yeah, it's gonna be different without him in my life. But I'm gonna be okay. I won't be, not a day will go by where I won't think about him, of course. I always think about him in some capacity, whether I even realize it or not. But I'm going to be okay. It certainly won't be, happy. And, every year on September 27th, or the 29th, I believe, that's when his birthday is. It's gonna be hard to remember. It's gonna be hard to forget hard to not feel sad. I mean, but I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna live on, and he always believed that, if I stuck my mind to doing something, I'd be great at it. Well, considering I've been making videos for, now 754 days. I'm pretty sure he wasn't wrong about that. So, we're good. So, yeah. How about we move forward, shall we? So, happy Friday, everybody. Just so you know, we have 1 month, literally, well, not literally, it's 1 month and 2 days, if you want to be specific, until Lent begins on Ash Wednesday, which is February 26th. As such, on Ash Wednesday and every subsequent Friday during Lent, if you worship the Christian or Catholic faith, you cannot have meat on Fridays. So be sure to get your meat fix in on Fridays now while you can. Because, again, you only have 1 month and 2 days worth of Fridays to be able to do it. Yeah, I want to make sure I get that message out there. Listen, I'm a dude. I'm a carnivore. Well, technically I am an omnivore because I do love my vegetables, of course. But you get the idea. We want to make sure that, get your filling now. If there's a meat related dish that you want to have, right now, go out there and do it because, do it now if I ever wish you had. Yeah, there's, and again, the best part is you do have a lot of options. I mean, a lot of bars are doing, technically a lot of places right now are doing fish fries in preparation for Lent. But, I'm sure that there's places you can go. You can get like wings or burgers or a meat lover's pizza. Those are always really good. I don't know why you ever, well, actually any night is good for a steak. But, if you want a steak, you can do that. Chicken, I mean, really anything goes. I mean, because once Lent starts, you can't even have bacon. Yeah. You cannot have bacon. This is a meat on Fridays during Lent. I know. It saddens me too. And and it's always so weird too. Because every single, Friday during Lent, even though before Lent I did everything I wanted to do, when Lent comes, I always feel like I didn't do enough. Or I didn't do what I wanted to do. Or, darn it, I could have done that there. I always hate that. Oh, well. I mean, again, you have some time. I'm definitely going to try and take, advantage of that today and, next week. And actually, I'd look up the calendar right now on my phone, but I'm using my phone to make this video right now. So I can't really do that necessarily. So, right, what was I? I have an itch on my nose. It's even that time of year where, people are starting to get sick or whatever. And we're in the height of flu season. So much so that it's even affecting the church I go to. Well, pretty much all churches, actually. Because, for those of you guys who don't know, you have the body and blood of Christ, which is essentially a very thin, very plain, flavorless wafer and 1 sip of wine. Well, believe it or not, they're ex-naying the wine altogether, so as not to spread flu. So what happens is when you walk up, you get your sip of wine. There's a little cloth that they wipe off the rim of the goblet so the next person can get some. Yeah, I know it's gross and it turns off a lot of people, but listen, I don't enforce the rules. I just follow them. Yes, I know. I know. I'm a follower in this case, not a leader. Anyway, so they're getting rid of that altogether because, again, cold and flu season. So, not that I really need to remind a lot of people, but, be sure to stay bundled up, stay warm. Be sure that, if you have medicines to take or whatever, you do that as well. Because, that's always really important. Make sure that you have, you wash your hands a lot. I know I do. Because seriously, washing your hands is actually more of a lifesaver than you think it is. Yeah. So there's that. I probably shouldn't. Well, you know what? In honor of my grandfather's passing, I actually do have one story I can tell you all. It was September of 2010. I was a sophomore in college. And it was actually the day of my grandfather's birthday. It was around 8:30, 9 o'clock when I received a call from my father. And after I talked to my father, he had reminded me to make sure that I call my grandfather on his birthday. So I did. Now, full disclosure, back then, and even up to his death, my grandfather would always go to bed around 9:30. Some would say it's pretty early, but, to him it was just right. And considering the time that I just explained, I talked to my father, and the time that I was talking, the time I'm talking about here, I think I may have been cutting it rather close. So, after I talked to my father, I immediately called my grandfather on his birthday. Now, around that time, I started getting into the habit of, whenever I talk to someone on my phone, I'm always on speaker with him. With that person, I mean. So, this instance was no different. So, I told my grandfather, and, I wished him a happy birthday. I hope that everything went well. I hope that it was filled with much love, all that stuff, right? Now, before I continue out the story, I will say this is kind of a curse word I'm about to mention. So if it's not your cup of tea, feel free to stop the video here. But after the conversation got over, I was actually waiting for him to hang up. I let him hang up first, right? And keep in mind, I'm still on speaker with him. Right before, and I do mean right before he hangs up on me, he just mutters, "Jesus Christ." Boom. And he hung up. Needless to say, when I told my mother this story, her response was, my father's sitting next to both of us, my mom and I, when I'm telling the story. He's like, nice. Nice. Oh, that was great. For the record, this was my grandfather's 77th birthday. So, hey, lucky number 7 times 2. Oh, but actually, 7 times 2 is 40. You get the idea. It was 77. So 7 times 11, I guess. So, yeah. It was, needless to say, that's a funny story that's going to stick with me for the rest of my life. Another fun fact about him was, I mentioned how much I love Tony R's, right? Well, the vast majority of the times I ever went, I went with him. Suffice it to say, he was really important to me in my life. And I'm never going to take that away from him. Bit of a few slip-ups at the very end, but I'm willing to ignore that because right before the very end, he really was in a lot of pain. I mean, to put things into perspective, the cancer metastasized to a point where it actually grew a tumor right by his pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. So not only did he have to get his larynx removed so we really couldn't understand, so his voice was almost completely gone, but he couldn't really breathe. He was in a lot of pain. So he's no longer suffering. The funeral arrangements are getting underway. And you know what? Again, 10,981 days. I'm pretty good with what happened overall. So, yeah. This turned out to be a pretty good Friday after all, didn't it? Like, favorite, share, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications on YouTube, follow me on the social media platforms. I'm very humbled I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I'm hopefully you have a wonderful Friday. And be sure you get your meat fix in if you're a Christian or Catholic. And remember, if you guys don't want to talk, our channel is going to be here to lend an ear. Always have your back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.